Hi everybody, I'm Sarah with athriftymom.com. We're trying something a little different. Hopefully it works. I'm not sure if I'm going to steam up the camera or not, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch me make dinner. And we are making cheesy corn and potato chowder. And the best thing about this recipe is it's 20 minutes. So it's one of those recipes that tastes like you cooked it on the stove all day, but instead it only takes 20 minutes and you have a great dinner for your family. So as you hop on, feel free to say hi and make sure you share this if you want to try and make it later. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to turn my oven on. I'm going to go ahead and put it on high. I'm going to put 4 tablespoons of butter in, and we're going to start to melt that.
Is it called sweet corn potato cheesy?
Yes, sweet corn cheesy potato chowder, something like that.
On the link it says sweet corn and potato cheesy.
And potato cheesy?
Yeah.
That's what the title says?
No, the link.
Oh, the link. Oh, okay.
And potato cheesy.
Potato cheesy, huh? Jerry says hello. Doug says hello. Brenda says hi. June says hi there. So I'm not sure if this is going to work. Like I said, I'm a little worried that the steam is going to come up and fog up our camera. But we will try to figure out as we go. But so what I've prepped here is I have 4 cups of red skin potatoes.
Oh,
I've got 1 large bell pepper, 1 large onion, and 2 stalks of celery. And you want to dice the celery, the onions, and the peppers, and then you want to cube the you want to go ahead and cube the potatoes. And you want to make them small enough that they can all cook. I'm on my way over for dinner, Jerry says. Well, if you were close enough, I would invite you over. You do want to make them small enough that they can cook within the 20-minute time frame. Okay, so here we have our butter. And I'm just going to actually smush it against the side here to kind of finish. Okay, so I've already pre-chopped those. Now, when I'm making soup, I don't do exact measurements because I don't think you should throw part of your bell pepper or your onion away because they're a little bit bigger than what you would normally expect. So that's why I just kind of give estimates. So it's about half a cup each of those, maybe a cup of onion, and then 4 cups of potatoes. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw these in. And this is one of those soups that my whole family likes, all of us. There's nobody that doesn't like this one. So in my mind, that is a win-win. So now what we're going to do is we are just using that butter to kind of saute these vegetables and kind of get those onions a little bit clear. Yes, Keely?
Kim says yummy.
Great. Okay, so I have this on high heat. And you could, if you're not like in as big of a hurry, you can then just cover it with water. But I actually like the flavor it makes if you kind of saute the vegetables a little bit.
Angie says yummy, yummy, yummy. And then Brenda says I bet. And Bethany says hi.
Hi, Bethany. Okay, so we're going to set those over there. Now, this calls for 4 cups of stock. If you want to keep this vegetarian, you could just use oil instead of butter, and you could use vegetable stock instead of the beef and the chicken stock. Now, originally, this recipe only called for chicken stock, but I didn't have enough chicken stock, so I substituted 2 cups of beef broth with the chicken stock, and I actually found that the mixed 2 together, the beef stock really brought in like a richer flavor in a shorter amount of time. And so that's why I go ahead and do 2 cups of chicken broth and 2 cups of beef broth.
Amy says hi.
Hi, Amy. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with it or not, but my favorite stock to use is Better Than Bouillon. How many of you guys are familiar with this? So Better Than Bouillon is like this weird looking paste. The first time I saw it at Costco, I thought it looked kind of disgusting. But I love it because it tastes the closest to actual make your own stock that I have found, and it's low in sodium. It's also organic if that's an interest to any of you guys. And so you just add a teaspoon, or maybe it's a tablespoon, I can't remember. You add a teaspoon into 1 cup or 8 ounces of water. Okay, so 1 teaspoon to 8 ounces of water. So to this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of this and 2 teaspoons of this to my water, and then I'm going to create my own stock.
June says good stuff, adds richness to anything. Lori says it's awesome. Amanda says love that brand.
Yes, so
Wendy says never heard of it.
if you have a Costco membership, I found that it's definitely cheapest at Costco. And the beef one is a little more sticky, I guess. Let me show you, like, so the beef one, this is what it looks like.
It looks like Nutella.
Yeah, it kind of looks like sticky Nutella, or maybe like
chocolate, like the chocolate fudge.
So I'm gonna actually just go ahead and mix this right in here. So there's 1, and there's 2.
Karen says love that stuff. Don't like lugging all those cartons. Lori says found it at Walmart.
Yes, they have it at most stores, but I found that it's definitely cheapest at Costco.
Brenda says, oh, I have to try it.
Okay, so there we go. There's the chicken. There's the beef. We've kind of got our onions. They have like they're starting to get a little bit translucent. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this all around again. And another thing I like about it is it's low in sodium. So you don't get that like heartburn that you sometimes get when you use like the cubed. Okay, so now I'm going to add my 4 cups of water, which is basically just enough to cover my potatoes. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. And then I'm going to set this aside. So I'm going to actually set this in the back. I'm going to put this on high. Oops.
Lori says it's good with green beans, and Jill says, are you having this for dinner tonight?
Yes, we're having this for dinner tonight because this recipe only takes 20 minutes. So by the time this video is over, my dinner is going to be done. So, I'm going to actually turn on, let's see how big, I'm going to turn on my burner in the back here. And I'm going to switch that to the back, and then that's going to start to boil. And then on this, I'm going to start making my cream sauce. McKeely, can you leave the recipe?
Again?
Yeah, can you leave the link again? Okay, so now I'm going to start on, I'm going to turn my heat down to medium now. And I'm going to add a stick of butter. And we're going to be making our creamy cheese sauce right now. And so while the vegetables are boiling and starting to cook, then we'll make our cheese sauce. Let's be honest, it's pretty much cheese gravy. It's delicious. So we're going to start melting this.
Mary says, what's in the jars? I have no sound.
You have no sound. Maybe
Jill says it's broth, chicken, and beef, and yeah, they all said what it is.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, it's better than bouillon, which you don't have to use this. You can actually just use your own homemade broth, or you can use broth from the can. This is just the brand of broth that I prefer to use. 1, I like the fact that it's condensed in size, and 2, I just really like the flavor. I find that canned broth kind of has a tin canny flavor that I'm not overly fond of. The carton stuff is nice, but it's kind of expensive and it takes up a lot of space. This stuff is a space saver, and it's pretty cheap, and I just really like the flavor of it.
Amy says anything is better with butter is good.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so I don't think you guys can see this back burner of mine, but I've now brought this stuff back up to a boil, and we're going to keep that boiling, and then hopefully it needs to boil for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, and then you want to check on it though, because depending on how small or how big you cut those vegetables is, you don't want to overcook them, but you also don't want to undercook them, but...
Melanie says so good, yum, 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 yum.
Okay, so we're melting our butter. Woo, careful.
Sorry.
And then we're going to make a basic white sauce, which we're going to do, which if you want to make a smaller, it's basically 2 tablespoons of butter to 2 tablespoons of flour. But we're quadrupling that, so it's 8 tablespoons of butter to 8 tablespoons of flour, which is pretty much half a cup of flour.
Angie says you can see the back burner.
Okay, sweet. Thanks, Angie. I've got this camera over my head, and I can't see your I have to, like, stick my head down under here, and I don't want to catch my hair on fire, so, and hopefully my shirt's closed. You guys aren't seeing my bosoms. It's not that type of video, people. Okay, so we have our butter melted, and we're gonna make sure it's hot.
Renee says once you open the jars, do they need to be refrigerated?
Yes, they do need to be refrigerated once you open them, but they do have a long shelf life. Like this one is good through April 2018, unopened, and this one, oops, this one was good through June of 2016, but we're still using it. So I just opened it not too long ago, and with all the soups I'm making, I'll definitely use it in the next couple weeks, if not months.
A whole bunch of people said LOL.
LOL. Okay, so we got our butter up to a boil, so now we're going to add our flour. And you can use a whisk for this part if you're getting a little lumpy, which I'll see if I can. Yeah, I probably need to go ahead and switch to a whisk, because we don't want lumpy gravy.
That's not good.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and whisk this, and it's important that you let this cook because it cooks the flour taste out of it, and it also cooks the grittiness out of it. Like if you just add the flour and water mixture straight to this, you can do that, and the milk and flour, you can add it straight to your boiling water and it will thicken it, but your soup gets more of like a gritty kind of like pasty taste, or pasty feel and taste. And so this is an extra step, but your soup comes out like velvety smooth, and it just tastes so much better, and it gives it that taste as if it's literally been cooking in the slow cooker all afternoon at your grandma's house. So that's the magic of this soup, is it tastes as if your grandma made it and it's been sitting on her pot all afternoon waiting for you to come home to eat it, but really it's just mom in a hurry and she whooped it together in 20 minutes. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this back here is at a full boil. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that down a little bit so we don't boil the heck out of it.
Okay, Holly says hey from South Florida.
Hi, Holly from South Florida.
What? Why did you say Holly from South Florida?
Because she said hi, right?
Melanie says looks creamy and chunky.
Creamy and chunky. Well, all my chunkies are out. Okay, so I'm just letting this cook. I normally let it cook for, I don't know, a minute or two. If you kept cooking this forever and kept stirring it, it would just turn like a dark chocolatey brown, and that would be your roux for like for gumbo. But we're not doing that. We're just cooking it to where it's gonna turn into a nice gravy. Hey Keely, I forgot to get the cheese out and the milk out. Can you get that for me quickly?
I got a spinny chair.
Quickly, please. Okay, so there's our cheese. The cheese I'm using is just the cheese we buy at Costco, which is the Mexican style. It doesn't taste Mexican-y at all to me. It's not spicy.
Where's the milk at?
Go out and get some from the fridge out in the garage. But you can just use medium cheddar. I'm using this just because that's what I have at home. And if you guys want the recipe, just click the link above, or I'll share the link again as soon as my daughter's back in the room.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, buddy. Can't say hi or you'll burn your... Oh, there you go. Oh, you can say hi, huh?
Just not touching that.
The thicker you get it, the thicker you let it cook, the better of chowder, in my opinion. Yes. I love that you are so real, a real mom and a homemaker.
What's
Thanks,
that?
Holly. Danielle says, usually I don't use equal flour and butter. Pam says, LMO. And Bethany says, love Costco. Okay.
Mom, what's that?
Okay, so I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
that?
That's the soup, sweetheart. Okay,
Well, that's-
Kaylee, I can't remember how many, how much. Can you look at the recipe and tell me, I think, how much, I think it's 4 cups of milk, but I can't remember. Because I always just pour it in.
The link maybe.
Okay, can you look? I think it's 4 cups of milk, but I always just pour it in, so, but I want to make sure I'm telling people the right.
Milk. 4 cups.
Okay, I was right. 4 cups of whole milk. Or you can do half and half if you want to make it even richer. Okay, so back here, I'm going to stir this, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of the pan.
I crossed the street today.
You did cross the street today, huh? His special needs bus is letting him cross the street. Watch out, I don't want you to get burnt.
Yeah.
Which he's pretty excited about the fact that he gets to cross the street today, huh?
Mom, that looks like...
Okay, so, hey, buddy, can you actually...
looks like
there we go.
buttery goodness.
Okay, come here.
Dad, Mom needs my help.
Okay, but you can go in there just a second. Okay, spin it. There we go. 1,
Why
2,
not Keely help? Pam
3.
asked what's cooking in the back pan. Came in late.
That is the
Soup.
vegetables for our soup, Pam, in the back pan.
Yeah,
That is a mixture of potatoes, bell peppers, onions, and celery. And then right before we add our cream sauce, I'll add the fresh corn that has been blanched and then cut off the cob. Actually, you don't even have to blanch it. You could just cut it right off your cob and then throw it in there for an extra couple minutes. But this is fresh corn. If you don't have fresh corn, you can use freezer corn or canned corn. Just try to get the petite stuff. You don't want tough corn in your soup. Okay, so now I'm bringing this back up. I'm going to...
Pam says, oh, yummy.
Okay, so I'm going to bring this back up slowly to a boil. And if you can see right now, it's like super watery. You see that? It's not, it's just like milk. But as we cook it, I'll show you how it will start to coat the spoon and stay on the spoon.
Holly says, I love that we are cooking dinner at the same time.
Awesome, Holly! What are you making? Hopefully yours is better than mine. And I have not put any salt and pepper in this yet. I salt and pepper it at the end normally just because you do need, actually, I should have added some salt in there because the potatoes do need a pretty good portion of salt. I'm going to go ahead and use some of my gourmet flaky sea salt from the Essence of New Zealand, but you can just use normal salt. This is just what I have, and so that's what I'm going to use.
Holly says tacos.
Oh, tacos! Tacos, we love
she
tacos.
Said tacos.
Oh, well, that's okay. I like...
Exclamation marks, but I was like, tacos!
That's alright. Taco burrito! Bad Saturday Night Live skit. Okay, Keely, can you go over there and get me the,
Holly says
the
Mexican
pepper.
Monday.
Mexican Monday. I thought it was supposed to be Taco Tuesday, but I love how you made it your own day. Way to own that day, Holly. Change that menu up and just do whatever makes you happy.
It's Mexican Monday.
Mexican Monday, I know,
So
but...
you can have, like, burritos if you want. You don't just have to have tacos. She's
No.
smart, see?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm continuing to stir this. You don't want to bring it up to a boil too fast or you'll curdle your milk. And that's why we're doing this together. And then, like I said, just about the time that our sauce is done, our vegetables are going to be done, and then we're going to be able to add it together. And it's going to be hot and ready to serve.
Danielle says if you add the milk a little at a time, it will cook out quicker and smooth. Quicker and smoother, just a tip.
Yes, Danielle, you are correct. Normally, that's how I do it, because normally I don't measure anything. Normally I just add it and then add it and add it, but for the sake of you guys knowing how much was in there, I wanted to actually add it, and then yes, it's taking a lot longer to... So what Danielle meant is if I would have just added a cup it would have thickened really fast, and I could have added another cup, and it would have thickened, and another cup. That's the better way to do it. Listen to Danielle, not me. Tune into Danielle's cooking channel next. Keely, can you get me a green onion over there for garnish?
Yeah.
And we'll chop it up. Okay, I'm gonna double check this back here, make sure we're not burning anything.
What are the limes for?
They're for sweet pork tacos later in the week.
Alright.
I'm gonna check
Here.
to see. Sorry, I'm gonna put it down there so I can taste it in a second to see where we're
That's
at.
a cutting board, not a counter.
Yes, that is a cutting board, not our counter. I think they can see that it's a cutting board.
I don't know.
Okay, so it's slowly starting to thicken. It's getting a little bit thicker, but it's still pretty watery. It's not like gravy yet. We want it to be like gravy consistency.
Pam says what kind of milk? Or could you use a cream?
Yes, you could definitely use cream. It would be even richer and creamier and more delicious. But we use we use whole milk.
Just because what we have.
Yeah, that's what we keep. That's what we drink. I grew up on a dairy farm, so anything less than whole is kind of gross to me.
We used to buy 2%.
Okay, so let me see this. Yep, potatoes are done. So I'm actually going to turn that off in the back. I'm going to add the corn.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Okay, that corn just needs literally like 2 minutes to cook. Do you see
I'm pasting the thing again.
our gravy here is, okay, so do you guys see how it's coating the spoon now? See how nice and thick and creamy and rich that is?
I want to eat it.
It's like thick, it's like a nice cream gravy, okay? So, I'm actually going to go ahead, I don't want it to come all the way to a boil. You could, since you've cooked it the right way, it shouldn't separate, but I'm going to actually turn it way down, and then I'm going to add my cheese to it, which 2.5 cups of cheese, but we're just going to eyeball it. Each handful is about a cup. So 2.5 to 3 cups of cheese. And then I'm going to stir it in.
LOL, 1 and 2%. Pam says LOL, 1 and 2% milk is like water to me. Doesn't it taste like watery milk, Mom?
Yeah. Okay, so then we got our cheese sauce. You see that? Yummy! It's a nice, thick, cheesy cheese sauce.
You know what they're doing?
Okay, and so now I'm going to pull this forward. This is what our soup looks like. Hopefully we didn't fog up the camera too much. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the cheese sauce back to it. Keely, how long's our video been on?
I don't know. It doesn't say
Is it up at the
time.
top? It should say a time. 19 minutes, yep.
Oh.
Okay, so we are done, people. Proof. You can make this soup in 20 minutes or less. Okay, so now we're going to stir it in. And then...
Brittany says,
Okay, so we're stirring that in together. And now if you're not going to serve it right away, put it on low, low, low on the back and just kind of let it simmer. Now we haven't seasoned it yet with the salt and pepper, so I am actually going to taste it real quick.
Danielle says always makes us Brits laugh when American people call whatever sauce gravy.
Yep, that's gravy. What's
the-
gravy to you guys? I forget.
What the heck is a Mornay sauce?
A Molnay, is that what she said?
Mornay sauce.
Okay, so salt and pepper it.
For us, gravy is meat juice.
Oh, meat juice? Oh, yuck. Yeah, no, we didn't make cheesy meat juice. If you would like some cheesy meat juice, tune into our channel. Okay, so here we go. Oops, I need a spoon. I should have been chopping some garnish here. Just quickly chop a little bit.
That's sad that they don't call it gravy.
Yeah, well, we Americans here, we
Gravy's
call it
just
gravy.
delicious.
We like gravy in our house, huh? Okay, so we're going to go ahead, scoop some up, plate it.
My husband would crap if he seen you salt that. I'm a salty person. He doesn't like salt at all.
Okay, so then we can go ahead and garnish with a little bit of cheese and a little bit of green onions, and there you go.
Can I eat it?
Dinner's done. 20 minutes or less. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go so you can, so I can actually go feed my family. But thanks for watching, and I would love it if you would share this video with on your page. So one, you can make it later, but then two, that way other people can find it.
Pam says I'm definitely trying this, and she says thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Daniel says gravy is like a stock thickened with a little flour.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what gravy is, but ours is a white sauce gravy. So, but yeah, that's what us Americans call it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll chat with you later. And now that we know this setup works, we'll try to show you guys some more dinner. And you can watch our crazy life. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Holly. Bye, Brenda. Bye, Danielle. Bye, Brittany. Bye, Sandy.